Hi everybody, this is Carla in the yurt for some restorative yoga tonight. I've got my whole tribe behind me tonight, including some pets. Everybody wanted to come down for a practice to soothe and restore. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can join us, and I hope you have a whole bunch of blankets, pillows, a bolster like a yoga bolster if you have, and if you don't have a yoga bolster, a rolled up yoga mat is going to help you tonight with this relaxing practice. So the most important thing to remember when you're doing restorative yoga is that it's all about letting go. It's about no more doing, no more reaching, no more pushing or striving. So we just really want to let the earth support us. Let all of our props support us. And every time you move and transition to a different pose, bring your blanket with you and just cover yourself back up each time you move into a delicious, restful position. So let's get going. So we're going to start kneeling with your bolster, which is this nice oblong pillow, or your rolled up yoga mat. So once you get onto your knees, take one or the other, or blankets or pillows, and put them behind the backs of your thighs so that you can sit back into this support. So alternatively, if this isn't good for your ankles or your knees, then use this support, this pillow, bolster, or rolled up yoga mat to sit and come to a comfortable place. So let's all take a little time to do that. Everybody ready? Okay. You can always change positions. You can always come to a place that makes you a little bit more comfortable. We're going to start with a breathing practice tonight to access our lungs and to express the lungs. So to let a little bit of stale energy, breath out from the bottoms of our lungs. So start to just take some nice deep breaths. So letting your whole breath all the way out, and then taking a deep breath in. And it takes us a few moments to settle in, to calm down, to quiet down the voices, and that's okay. Just letting the whole breath out when you're ready. And then taking a nice deep breath in. We're going to just let it all the way out. Something that can really help to create a nice deep breath is to also bring the arms out wide, like you're stretching up and overhead. And take a deep breath in up here. Join the palms together and slide the hands down to the heart. And then do this in reverse. As you breathe in, bring the arms all the way up the midline. And as you exhale, just rain the breath all the way down around you. Nice. Breathe in deeply. Bring the arms out wide and up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down in front of the heart. And breathe in deeply all the way up. Lift your heart. And exhale, bring the breath all the way down and around you. And continue. Just looking inside for your own organic breath, your own deep breath, whatever pace, whatever length that is, and bringing it down around you. And breathing in and holding the breath a little at the top. And exhaling and bringing it all the way down and around you. Breathe in. And breathe out. And allow yourself to find a rhythm here, where all you're doing right now, all you have to do is breathe in and breathe out. Deep breaths. Exhaling. keep it up. Just finding yourself riding along with this wave of breath. That's all you have to do right now is breathe in. Breathe out. Keep going. Start to feel like you're filling different corners of your lungs, creating some space and letting it go. And breathing in. And breathing all the way out. This is a beautiful practice for you to begin your day with and to end your day with. Just spreading this breath all the way around your body. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do about 5 more breaths here. Taking all the time that you feel that you can with each inhale and each exhale. And as we start to really nurture this breath in our body, the breath kind of slows down a little bit, really improving the quality of the breath. So we don't have to rush it at all. Breathing in. And now breathe all the way in, pause up here. And as you exhale, take your right hand down to the floor. Reach all the way up and across you. Pause here, like you can really find support with your hand on the floor. Maybe look up, or perhaps gaze down. Let's bring this front arm all the way down around in front of us. Come all the way back to where you were. And then take that first hand all the way out to inside and find this breath in this side body. Breathing in here. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing all the way back out. One more time on each side, flowing here with the breath in. And then coming up with your breath out. And to the second side, reaching up and over with a breath in. Nice. And releasing with your breath out. Come back to center. Roll the shoulders forward and up. And bring them back and down your back, like you're just letting go of this heavy load. And bring the shoulders forward and up. And then let them go down and let go of your heavy load. Come forward now to lie all the way on your belly. So take your bolster out, and if you'd like, you can take your bolster or your rolled up yoga mat all the way down to the end of your mat, so that when you lie down on your belly, the tops of your feet are resting on this support. And we're simply taking the whole front of our body down to the ground. Going into ground. And go ahead and wiggle a bit across the fronts of your thighs so that your thighs spread out into the mat. Maybe your legs come a little wider apart until you feel like you're taking up some space. Rest your forehead on your crossed forearms or wrists. And start to gently roll your forehead across this support. Send your breath now deeply toward the belly, so that when you inhale, the belly expands and presses into the floor. And as you exhale, you feel yourself sinking toward that space. You're just moving down into this beautiful security and support of the earth. And breathing into the belly, letting it expand into the earth. And then exhaling and letting yourself sink in. Just everything goes here. Welcome the earth below you. And welcome in the way that you have allowed yourself to relax now, consciously. You've purposefully tonight chosen to do a process or a practice to train your body into this beautiful art of letting go of tension, of stress. We're letting go of unease. We're letting go of this unknown. And we're welcoming support. Collective support from across the globe. Grounding support from Earth. Receiving this beautiful calming and healing energy, like it could just seep up from the earth and into our very own skin, into our pores, into our cells. We just start to relax and become still. You can stay like this if you'd like, or make one simple adjustment of sliding your right knee up the mat out wide to your right side, so that this right knee and leg looks like a bit of a frog leg. So just see how that feels in your body to settle into that. So if your right knee is up, you'll feel a little bit more of your weight settling into the front of your left thigh and pelvis. And perhaps that's comfortable enough to release the lower back and allow your relaxation to deepen here. And keep pouring that breath into the front of the left thigh and the belly. Sorry, I have to show you my beautiful, relaxing animals, because there's nothing more inspirational than seeing a tired old dog after a day on the trail. Come on, it's okay. Say hello, say hello. All right, slide that right knee down. If if you had it up. And then slide the left knee up. No, thanks, Yoda. Great stance. And just keep relaxing your head down, your forehead to that forearm, wrist area, or maybe even turning the right cheek down. Let's take 5 more breaths here that you can feel. Moving all the way down toward the pelvis and the hips and the thighs. Just inviting all of this expansiveness in. And then letting all of the uncertainty and tension and stress out. And inviting peace in with your breath. And then feeling that tension, that discomfort, that tightness move out. And then we're going to slide that knee down, that left knee down. Rock across your pelvis a few times on your front. And then take your time here, pressing yourself up to your hands and your knees. And if your knees are tender at all, you can put a blanket under them. Take your knees a little bit wider apart. Let your big toes touch in the back and start to sink back into child's pose. And then at the same time, you can bring your bolster, if you like, between your knees so that you can rest your breastbone down over this support. And you can turn a cheek down as well. We can really start to let go of the lower back and the load that we carry in our sacral spine. And here in child's pose, we can start to visualize the breath coming into our back body, into our back ribs, into the back of the heart space. And as we exhale again, we can just watch tension leave the body. Just let it go out of you. Breathe in. And breathe out. And we're staying here for a while, and so if you'd like, and if this is really intense on your knees, you can bring your knees, or your hips, up a little bit higher so that the knees aren't compressed, and you can let your heart still rest down on the bolster. Make your way slowly up. Take all the time that you want to here. Coming back to all fours so that Your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. And we're going to just pause here to soak in our practice so far with a little bit of a rocking side to side. And a bit of letting go of the head, like it's really heavy and you could just drop the head down and tuck the chin toward the throat. Just feel into your hips, let yourself shift side to side. Maybe just sweep your chin across your collarbones a couple of times. Imagine you have this great big long tail extending out from your spine. You could sweep and swish your tail side to side. And purr, like some people like to purr. And then start to come back to awareness of the room for a moment to adjust your props. So take your bolster or your rolled up yoga mat and put it up toward the back of your mat so that you can prop a block up or a book even, or even a pillow underneath on its halfway mark or on its flats. Okay, and then when you turn around from there, you can lie over this. So this whole beautiful bolster is going to line up your spine. If you have a second bolster, slide it under your legs or your pillows. Bring your blanket with you and lie down. Make sure that this bolster or you rolled up yoga mat underneath your spine is really tracking up your spine, but that your hips are still on the floor here. Take your arms out to your sides and start to turn your palms up a little bit. So invite your arm bones to externally rotate so that your chest starts to open and your shoulders start to sink down. And then there comes this really slow turning of the head, side to side. Like you're just bringing so much softness into the sides of your neck. Bringing relaxation into the throat and the jaw. And letting your tongue rest into your mouth and your lips get just a little bit softer. And as you breathe in, bring your shoulders up toward your ears. And then as you breathe out, slide them down away from your ears, just so you know where these shoulders belong. Just down here, away from those ears. And feel all the expressive muscles in your face softening and relaxing. And the lines of your face are dissolving. And your eyes are sinking deep into their sockets. relaxation. And surrendering to this breath. This position of your body, softening your skin and your bones into the supports that are holding you. Let's take 4 more deep breaths like this. Let's start to stretch your arms out wider, or even bring them up and overhead and grasp your opposite elbows right over top of your forehead. Just let these forearms rest on the forehead and let yourself be soft through your back body. And then we'll reach the arms way overhead so that the fingertips point to the wall right behind you. Stretch out the legs a little. Take a breath in. And then carefully roll off of your bolster or your prop that you're using and come all the way onto your side and tuck yourself into fetal position. Just curl in here for a moment. Take some time, feeling your back rounding again. Breathing into your back body. And then we're going to slowly sit up. Unless you'd like to just stay there. But if you're with me, you're sitting up. Bring your bolster with you. Bring it underneath your legs. And draw the soles of your feet together here so that your knees are wide and supported by this bolster. And then just walk your seat back behind you a little. Just give your bum a little bit of space well behind you. Reach forward and clasp your ankles or your shins. And lean way over to your left side. And press your right knee down away from you. And then try the other side, just leaning over to that right side. Just invite some space into the side waist, to the forward again. Take a breath in, lift your heart. And then as you exhale, let yourself go. Just folding over your legs to a place that feels really sweet in your body. And take a deep breath in here. Let it all go out. These restorative practices draw us deeply into ourselves. Into a sense of ourselves as being, not just doing. A deeper sense of self that makes us feel more expansive, more generous, more loving and kind. And we come and we sit and we relax and we take care of ourselves. And we're gifted with this glimpse at who we really can be, at this vast potential for love, for space. You get to see this universe that sits inside of us all the time. So just stay here as best as you can, relaxing and breathing. Sit with all the thoughts that come, whether they're beautiful and enlightening or whether they're ugly and superficial. Just sit with whatever comes up. And then let your breath out and watch whatever has risen fading away. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then start to roll yourself up really slowly. Take all the time you would like, coming back up until your head lifts and comes over your shoulders. And then turn your head from side to side. And sit in this tall spine. Sit in this body now, feeling its ease. And if you like, cheers me, all my wine drinking yogi friends. Cheers. Stay just how you are. Extend your legs though, so that they're straight. You can keep this bolster underneath your knees, especially if your hamstrings are tight. Or you can bring it and line it down the length of your thighs. So you can try both. If you're lining it vertically up your legs, pull it into your belly and start to let yourself fold over it. You can even go one more step and take a block for your forehead, or a couple of blocks. Or you can let your forehead hang. Just see what feels good. Let's hang out here for a while. Letting the legs straight and bringing a little more sensation into the back body as a whole. So creating just enough tension in your back body that you can feel a stretch from the heels all the way up the back of the legs and up the spine to the top of the head. And if your breath feels compressed here, that's okay. If you feel like the breath is a little bit more shallow, that's fine. Just simply focus on blooming out the back lungs, on breathing into the back ribs, and that little expansion you feel there with each inhale. Take 3 more breaths. And then start to sit up again. Really slowly roll yourself up so that your head is the last to come up over the shoulders. Mostly everybody's asleep now. So let's lay on our backs to finish. As you lie down again, bring that bolster underneath your legs and bring a blanket to cover you up. So lying flat on the mat now. Feeling the bolster under the backs of your thighs, that rolled up yoga mat. And let's bring the back fully to the floor here by bringing our knees into our chest just for a moment. Bring them up wide so that you're drawing them towards your armpits, and hang on to them here, or even hang on to the backs of your thighs, whatever would be most comfortable. And rock side to side, just really organically, just in a way that allows your whole back body to relax into the floor. And make sure, if you've got some pressure in your neck right now, make sure that you have a fold of a blanket underneath the back of your head, or a pillow or something, just so that you don't feel like the neck is pressuring up. And then once the back starts to flatten down and you feel ready, take your feet back to the floor on the other side of your bolster and walk your feet out nice and wide apart from each other. Take your arms out wide at your sides and shift side to side a couple of times like your shins are windshield wipers. shifting the shins side to side in a gentle twist, letting them both move to the right, letting them both slide over to the left. Feeling into our body, whatever we're feeling, let yourself feel it. And then bring your knees back to center and push into your feet until you can lift your hips up and draw the bolster underneath your hips so that the hips can rest over this bolster in a supported bridge pose. And we are going to bring our legs into the air. This is where we stay. Letting the feet be light. Letting our weight shift into the shoulder blades and the back of the head. Give your ankles some rotation. And spread your toes. And know that this is the best place for you to be right now. And you can stay here as long as you want to ensure a deep, deep rest for yourself tonight. After a few more breaths, if you'd like, you can move your body into Shavasana. And so bringing your knees back into your chest. Just wiggle the bolster out from under your hips so that your back comes to earth again. Extend your legs over your bolster. Shift your shoulder blades and send your weight back towards your pelvis. And rest. And stay here as long as you want, and then crawl into your bed. And from our family all the way to you, wherever you are, we wish you sweet dreams. And namaste. And see you next time. Thanks for joining us.